let's go with most important player. Who do you think the most important player for the Denver Nuggets will be in their series?
Jokic.
Okay. I'm only gonna go against that because I already know what to expect out of him. So
Mhm.
he set a standard like the LeBrons, like the Stephs, like the Giannis's, playoff Jimmy Kawhi of the world. I'm gonna go with Jamal Murray just because of the lack of their depth that they have, losing their coach. I think he's gonna have to literally continue what he's done in the past years, but we'll see because there's a lot of different players for him. Clippers, who do you think most important for them?
Kawhi.
Kawhi. I'm gonna go with Harden because like kind of going back to what we said, I know what to expect out of a healthy Kawhi. James Harden is known to be up and down and shrink when it matters most, but
That's
we'll
to be the
see.
thing, though, is do we know if that's the only reason why? Like, I know it's again picking the best player, but with Kawhi, I think it fits because we don't know if he's going to be healthy.
Mm.
He's
Well,
been
well,
in the playoffs all the
we
time.
we don't know. I mean, yes, we can look at the past for further indication of the future if someone's going to be healthy or not. But I think we have to train our mind, kind of like with the Damian Lillard out of sight, out of mind. I think we have to just go into this series knowing that until someone gets hurt, they're going to stay on the floor. But I feel like even though Kawhi is going to be dominant on both ends, I think Harden's also his ability to get the others involved plus the scoring. I think that's why he's going to be the most important player. Lakers, who you got?
I think real quick though, I don't agree because it's different when, of course, anyone can get injured. So like, of course, that's
Yeah.
different. But someone that's the exact same thing of like me saying I don't expect that Joel Embiid is gonna get injured. Like, no, his history and everything about him says that he's not gonna be able to finish these playoffs or finish the regular season.
Hmm.
Kawhi, everything about him makes me feel like he's not gonna be able to finish this series. So I
Hmm.
think that should play a factor into it when you've proven to be injury prone. It's not just someone who just got injured last year. He gets injured all honestly, every year he didn't win the championship in the playoffs, he got injured.
No, he was healthy when they got spanked in 6 games against OKC back in the day. I think Tim Duncan's last year. He was healthy when they blew that 3-1 lead as well too. Um,
That
so
oh,
those
here
are
I'm not talking about. I guess I'm talking about past like a certain point in time. Like once the Zaza thing happened, he
okay.
got injured.
Post Zaza. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been injured for sure. Say there's been 9 series, he was injured 7 out of them, so that's more than
Hmm.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm just having the mindset that until proven otherwise, they're gonna be healthy. So we'll see. Because I'm also thinking about that. I don't know. I don't even have the game on. Like, who's to say Steph Curry doesn't re-aggravate his hand and that changes the whole course of the series for Houston or Jimmy
His hand?
Butler? Yeah, isn't his hand like taped up right now?
No,
Steph Curry?
no.
Because that was the biggest argument that he like on his shooting hand, like he messed up his thumb or something like that, but he's fine. So
I just again, you're not. I just think that's not fair. You're comparing like Steph is not an injury prone player versus a guy who lit. But regardless, who's the next one is like the Lakers.
yeah, Lakers.
I think the most important for that one is for sure going to be Reeves. Because if Austin
Mm.
Reeves does what he was doing in the regular season, then it's a wrap.
I like that. I like that. Okay. Damn. I think I'm gonna go with Bron. Um, we know what playoff Bron is, but it is another year that he's older. We've seen some games where he played at a super high level, and some games where his legs aren't quite there. He settles for jump shots, not as aggressive as well too. Um, so I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna have to at least give you 25, 6 and 6, and they'll be okay. What about the Wolves?
Randall,
I
easy
agree.
Randall. Yeah, yeah. Because he's if he just plays like an average NBA player, their chances are different. If he plays like how he always plays, which is dog shit, then they don't have a chance.
Okay, and then what about the Bucks?
Honestly, I'm gonna go with Dame in this one because to me, if Dame comes back, I think they can. I don't maybe say easily, but I think they definitely win the series if Dame comes back. Uh,
Mm,
because I
okay.
don't think that any of those role players are that important. I don't think that Kyle Kuzma is not going to change the tide of the series. Bobby Portis isn't going to change the tide. Kevin Porter's not going to change the tide of it. So
Yeah. I'm gonna just it's a cop out. I'm gonna go with Giannis just because we don't know if he's gonna have Dame or not. It's not official yet, so I'm anticipating him not coming back in this series, and he's probably gonna. I know they shortened their rotation, but he's probably gonna lead every team in the first round with minutes played per game. I think he only gonna rest like probably 2 minutes or 1 to 2 minutes and a half. What about Pacers?
I actually think I might say either Mathurin or Turner.
Ooh.
Um, if I'm saying his name right, Mathurin or Mathurin, but
Yeah,
he's a hooper. I think that if they put the ball in his hands more and he actually is able to do something, like he could change the tide of this. And similarly, like Miles Turner, if he's just like consistent, because his defense is always pretty good. But if he's really out there like hitting threes, he's like the perfect complement for Hallie.
yeah. I'm gonna go with you as well too, with Mathurin as well. Very, very slept on player. They didn't even get to play last year because of injury, but he's definitely. I think he has potential to be a one of like an all-star caliber based player, and I think his game translates to the playoffs well. But like you said, if he can if he can play to his regular season capabilities, because Tyrese really wants to get the ball out of his hands relatively pretty quickly. Um, and he sometimes, at least in the playoffs from what I saw last year, he doesn't like to always be aggressive on the attack mode because he's a natural point guard. So I agree, Mathurin. Knicks, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Bridges, actually.
Oh,
I think that Cat, well, actually, I don't know if Cat's gonna give you Cat doesn't usually hit his regular season averages in the playoffs, so that'll be something. But he's usually still good enough. The threat of him hitting threes and he's big. Um, but I think that if Bridges can go out there and like hoop like how he was hooping when he was in Brooklyn, that would change the dynamic of that whole series.
yeah. Nah, I agree as well too. And then your Pistons.
I would just have to go with Cade. If Ivy was back, I would say that, but they just said he's been cleared for basketball activity, so I don't know if he's gonna play in this first round at all. So I'm gonna just have to like if Cade is able to honestly, I don't know if you caught who I was comparing to him was Bron. Like if Cade is able to give us that type of performance, like where it's like, okay, I'm just the big point forward and I'm orchestrating everything and hitting all my shooters and stuff like that, then I think that they could definitely win.
Mm. I'm gonna be a troll and say man 2 through 8.
That's real.
And in Boston, and it don't matter. It don't
I,
matter.
no, to me,
It
it's
don't
actually
matter.
it's definitely Porzingis because he's such the X factor. Like they're already a great team without him, but when he steps on the court, it just really changes everything.
Mm.
I
And,
think they go from like a good team to a really ridiculously great team.
mm. And in Orlando,
That's who doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're not going to win anything.
yeah. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. It don't matter.